Well, hello, this is Bill Vajda. I'm here with you again for another Marquette Moments, and today we're going to try out something a little bit different. We thought it'd be kind of interesting to walk around town, just check out things that are going on, and maybe get some feedback from different people that care a lot about Marquette and have been giving us good ideas on things we can do to make it better. Today we're with Jim Reeves from the Mining Journal, and we're standing here in the middle of a construction project with the sidewalks and the replacement of the curbs on the 200 block of Washington Street. One of our most prominent buildings is the Mining Journal, right on the corner of 4th and Washington. For a long time, Jim, I know you've been asking for us to fix things up, and I was just wondering what your thoughts might be. Is this something, I know you've been looking forward to it, but is this meeting your expectations, or can you imagine that we might be doing something wrong or right or a little bit different? What do you think?
Well, we're in mid-construction, so it's pretty hard to tell what the finished product will be like. But I'll tell you this, we had several people come in, especially during the wintertime, with injuries from the curbing that was here, because the curbing was deteriorated to a point where they assumed it was intact and it was not. So they'd step on it, they'd end up spraining an ankle, they'd end up having a problem with that. And that caused problems, and it was going to cause problems down the line too for people with the type of injuries that they have. They were typically sprained ankles or a scratched up knee or whatever, but eventually somebody was going to break a bone on that. Plus, I think it reflected poorly on the city. And so far, with what we've seen, with the new sidewalks being poured and the curbs are up to date now, they've been replaced. I mean, it certainly gives you a better appearance for downtown. It's certainly safer for the downtown people. So, yeah, I think it's a real positive. I mean, we've got a little work left to do here, and we'll have to wait and see what the finished product looks like. But certainly a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Now, have you been hearing? I've only heard a couple of different sources that people are interested in maybe picking up their old bricks. And I know from speaking to Mana, from speaking to the construction crews down here, they're trying to save them if possible. They've got a big pile of them where people could come down and kind of sort through it. But I know 30-year-old bricks, they can start looking a little raggy.
Well, I think when they took ours out, that said the Mining Journal established in 1846, and I think the building was remodeled or put up in 1954, something like that. Our brick apparently got broken when they took it out of there, so it might have been something I would have held on to. But my understanding is that they do have a limited amount of time to go and pick up the bricks if they had their names on the bricks or whatever, which I think is a nice piece of history for that. And that's part of upgrading and updating. Some of those things have to go by the wayside, but in the meantime, we're going to have a lot nicer looking downtown and a lot safer downtown for the people in there who are going to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for your time today. I appreciate it. Make sure you let us know if we aren't meeting the expectations. We'll come out and check it out again.
Okay, well, we already had the most beautiful city in the country. When you look down 4 blocks down this way, you're looking out on Lake Superior. I don't know how many other downtowns have that benefit. I haven't traveled all around the lake, so I don't know that. But, this is just one more of those things that I've lived in a lot of different communities, and this is the nicest downtown that I've ever been around. So these little upgrades that we're doing now just make it a little bit better and a little more special. So if you're not from this area, I encourage you to come up and visit too and see what Marquette's all about.
Great. Thank you. Well, I think the truck is cutting us off. We'll call it there. But, Jim, thanks again. Appreciate the chance to chat.
Okay, Bill. You bet.
Okay, well, so continuing our experiment, we haven't had to walk too far down Washington Street. Actually, we were just coming from Jim Reeves. We were asking him questions about how he likes the construction project here. And as luck would have it, we're walking past one of our local establishments where all the deals get done. And we ran into our new executive director of the Marquette Chamber, Jason Schneider, and one of the members of our sustainability committee, Amy Conover, who've agreed to have a chat with us. And I'm going to turn it over to Jason because actually, while I'm here, I think I'm going to go get a cup of coffee too. So, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's an interesting opportunity to come in and talk to the entire city of Marquette through our new channel?
Yeah, this is Channel 191. You're broadcasting live through our Access channel. And by the way, anybody who sees this, you're equally able to come in and do the same kind of things. We encourage all local content. We'd love to see what people are all about and what they have to say. So at any point, if the chamber or if at any point the organizations you work with, Amy, would like to come in and do the same thing, we'd encourage it. But how's Marquette treating you today?
Marquette's fantastic. I mean, well, you can see the coffee shop behind me, but it's sunny, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, wait, I'm going to go get coffee. Excuse me.
Lots of wonderful things going on in Marquette. My day is busy as ever. As many people know, we've just started a Chamber of Commerce, so my time is now spent doing a lot of business-to-business visits, making sure people know who we are, what we're doing, and what some of the projects will be to come. So this is just a part of it.
What's the general response to the chamber been so far?
It's been super positive. A lot of people are kind of excited to have an organization that represents the local businesses in the community and tries to identify issues with government that government might be able to take on to make the small business owners' positions a little bit easier. Yeah, they seem pretty excited that there's somebody on their side.
Amy, if you want to steal Bill's seat, it might just be easier since we've tricked you into being a part of this. Well, I guess I know we were talking about you're actually a part of the advisory committee in the city, the sustainability committee, correct?
Yes.
Ad hoc committee, I believe.
Right, and I'm in a unique position. Most people who serve on a city committee, you can only serve on one at a time. But the Sustainable Community Ad Hoc Committee is comprised of representatives of different organizations and different committees. So I am actually a representative from the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. So that was the first position I took. I'm on the Parks and Rec Advisory Board and a representative to Sustainable Community Ad Hoc Committee.
So, I mean, just kind of a quick overview. Those two things kind of go hand in hand. What are some of the things you guys are talking about right now?
Well, on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, a lot of the conversation, some of it is nuts and bolts about the operations of our parks and our recreation department, the maintenance of the ball fields, the fee structures of who pays for what. We don't decide all of that, but we can advise the commission and put in our opinions as representatives of the residents. And so we've looked at upgrades that are coming to some of the parks. We have some new full bathroom facilities going in at Harlow Park. Near McCarty's Cove is getting full flush toilets. That will be a year-round facility. So it's just really exciting to see and be a part of some of the decisions on how we're going to make Marquette better. It's really encouraging and exciting.
Okay. And you guys just dropped by today to look at the construction and talk about the future of our great city?
Yeah, we just wanted to watch the bricklaying happen. No, Amy's been involved in the Studio Gallery for a number of years, which is a great art gallery out at Presque Isle. And so we were actually talking about Chamber and how Chamber relates to the arts community.
What'd I miss?
Plenty of good stuff.
Okay.
You missed it all. We're taking over the world. We're making it better for parks and art.
But the good news is now they're done talking about you.
Oh, okay. And scene.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. Okay. Sorry it took so long. No worries. Good to see you. Likewise. Good to see you, Bill.
Well, so here we are again. This is probably going to be our final spot on Man on the Street for this time. If you enjoyed it, please let us know. We'll keep the format going. But we successfully made our way from Baby Cakes down on the 200 block of Washington Street down to 100 block, where there's a lot of exciting things going on. And our good fortune to run in today to Tom Veer, very successful local businessman, who is putting back together our historic Delft Theater. It's going to be an awesome project. I know we get a lot of questions about it all the time. People are really interested. So, Tom, you mind telling us a little bit about what you got going on here?
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for putting me on the spot here. That's what we're calling this, walking around Marquette on the spot, right?
Exactly.
Thanks a lot, Bill. I appreciate your support and the whole community support. We plan on having here a dinner theater here, a dinner movie business in the next 6 to 9 months. We plan on getting it finished. Working right now with the finances and getting the price in line for our construction, so we should be getting going hopefully in 3 months on the building side.
Perfect.
We're really excited about this thing, and we're going to light up that marquee, and everyone should have a fun time downtown.
Yeah, well, I know this was a beloved place in my childhood. I know there were a lot of folks over the last 50 years, a lot longer than that, last 100 years, who've enjoyed coming to the Delft. And for those of us who get the occasional privilege to come inside and check it out, it looks a lot different than what it used to.
Well, actually, it looks like it did initially, way back 100 years ago, because this was built 100 years ago, and we're going to try to revive it have our friends in here, so we're going to get it finished and build it up in the next 100 years. We should have a lot of fun here.
Now, I'm going to take the opportunity. Kyle, for those watching, we're going to move, and since he's hand holding this, we don't want to make everybody motion sick. So we're going to go off for a second and then just move down here. I want Tom to explain one of the interesting things he discovered when they actually started pulling things apart in anticipation of putting it all back together. So stand by.
Come on along with us, Kyle. Okay. All right, Kyle. So here,
Well, let me give it a preface. So, like in a lot of different buildings in Marquette, there's a lot of hidden glory, and there are a lot of previous uses. Of course, Marquette was a big, heavy industrial town at one point. The Delft Theater, actually, the old building and the new building kind of straddle an area called the Jackson's Cut, which is a alleyway here in the DDA that had formerly been used as a rail corridor, and Tom had an interesting discovery associated with that. So, Tom, why don't you tell us a little bit what we're seeing here?
I'll tell you, Bill, what they actually did with this building. It was built in 1914 originally. It was just back to the back of the Jackson Cut at that point. Business was going so well in 1918, they turned the building and flipped the floor up, and they built a bridge over the Jackson Cut Alley, which is a bridge over the right-of-way for the trains, so that they could actually build a 10,000 square foot building that had encompassed 1,500 seats. It was a grand theater and the fly rooms in the back there. So this particular bridge, it's a train trestle bridge. They just put this right on top of above the train and built the theater over there and used this as an entrance and an exit for the next 100 years, actually. So
yeah, that to me is just fascinating. So here we are. We're standing in Marquette in 2015 on the remnants of a railroad trestle from about 1915. And instead of carrying trains and moving us to movie theaters, it's actually going to be part of the restaurant.
And the fun part is that's just before the First World War, actually as the war's starting. So there's a lot of action going on, a lot of steel being moved, and pretty surprising how the whole economy was based upon a lot of things moving at the time, the car, Henry Ford, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so
a lot of fun in history here at the Delft Theater, the Donkers. So,
well, if anybody had told me that we were going to get that kind of reuse out of some of the old buildings that we have down here, that we're going to turn old railroad trestles into family restaurants, I probably wouldn't have believed it, or at least I've been pretty skeptical. But this is going to be a great project, Tom. We're thrilled that you continue to invest and that you're doing so many great things for Marquette, and it's just a pleasure. Thank you for letting us come in today and see all the good things going on.
Thank you, Bill, and continue the good work yourself. So.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
Thank you.
Yep.